welcome back to the Citizen channel. You're all stayed safe and well. We look back at a disappointing game at the Etihad. Manchester City 1, Brentford 2. Yes, not great. 12th of February 2022, match day 14, and the end of season 22-23, part 1. Yes, and we will finish the season, or this part of the season, in second spot. Yes, we can't lose that second spot, even though there's games going on as I'm recording this and games over the weekend. So we will go into the break in second spot. We'll have a talk about that later in the summing up. 12:30 p.m. kickoff. Yeah, it come back to haunt us, doesn't it? We used to have a problem with early kickoffs, and I thought we got over it, but who knows? Perhaps we haven't. Perhaps we haven't. So, talking point show. Now we're going to have a look at the match report, the stats and the facts. Not great reading, but hey, it has to be done, doesn't it? We take the rough with the smooth, don't we? When there's not much rough, is there? But usually smooth, but it's so long now before we can get it out of our system. That's the only problem. It's just gutting to go into the World Cup and have to wait 6 weeks or so before we even have a chance to start putting things right. So. Yeah, I think that's more disappointing than the actual defeat. Just the fact we can't do anything about it for so long. It's very, very depressing. Right, so please, if you are new to the channel, push that subscribe button. Do everything City, past, present, and forever. The good, the bad, and the ugly, of course. So it'll be great to have you on board. Leave us your comments. Let us know. Spread the word. Be great to hear from you. And please, to cheer me up today and cheer yourself up. Come on, we've got to try and cheer ourselves up, haven't we? Give us a thumbs up, guys, while you're watching this, just to make me, just at least cheer me up, and then I'll try and cheer you up as we're going through this. Well, probably not easy, but I'll do my best to add a little quip here and there. But yeah, we'll see. Right, the teams. Yes, well, our team. I'm not asked about theirs, to be honest with you. I did say the preview show, Tony's the guy to look out for. But hey, there you go. That's how it works out. 8 changes to the Chelsea game. Hell of a lot. I used to bang on about once we start making 5 or 6 changes to teams. Plus 5 or 6 plus, we do start to struggle. 8 changes, it's just perhaps too many. I got 7 right, which isn't great, but in my defence, and I will say in my defence, I did say Haaland would play if he was fit. I didn't know if he was or not, and I didn't know Cancelo. I thought Cancelo was banned. I did say in the player ratings show it's a shame he wasn't, but yeah, I will echo that even though I'm recording this an hour or two later. And Aki, of course, was on maternity leave, so I had him in my team. So there's 3 guys that 3 things. So I could have got 10. I could have got at least about 10 then, based on that. But anyway, I got 7. Let's go for it. But as I say, I do have reasons for that. Edison, Stones, Akanji, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodrigundo. Come on, what? I like. Don't get me wrong. Gundogan's our captain, but because he's captain, does that mean he has to play all the time? I just wanted a bit more legs in there in that first start. It certainly shown, didn't it? I just thought Gundogan was. We were all pretty not at it today, and Gundogan was one of the worst culprits, unfortunately. De Bruyne, Silva, Foden, and Haaland. Subs: Ortega, Diaz, Phillips, Grealish, Alvarez, Gomez, Mahrez, Palmer, and Lewis. For all, may as well have no one on the bench. It doesn't make any difference, does it? Pep's either going to, play him when we're absolutely storming it, or not take a chance at times. It's one of those games where he didn't take a chance today. He just left it as it is, and it just petered out into nothingness. Peter Bonks was in charge, or Mr. Peter Bonks, and David Coote on the BAI. Got a bit involved today, but nothing untoward, I don't think. Just wishful thinking as far as the City fans are concerned. Match report, yeah, great start. I mean, they started very well, Brentford, and yeah, I'll comment in a bit. Just no fear, and that. It's a good job. A lot more teams don't play like that, because we could have less points than we've got now. 3 minutes, a great chance for a lively Brentford as Tony puts Onyeka through. He beats Stones to it, but Edison gets in a great block. So it was the Ortega in disguise. A great little block from Edison. 6 minutes, another good, okay save by Edison, but he did sort of cause it in the first place. Another great Brentford chance. This time Edison palms out across, a bit flappy at it, a bit of a flappy hand. It's played back to Tony. And this time Edison makes a save to deny Brentford again. 16 minutes, and it is 1-0 to Brentford. Yeah, and thoroughly deserved. The keeper punts it forward. I mean, he waddled up to take the free kick in the first place. I thought he run as though he was constipated, that keeper. But he waddled up to take the free kick, which was near the halfway line. I think I've not had a chance to watch it back. And of course, just a long, hopeful punt up front. And hey, with me rolls the highest to get a header on it. His header looped over, and Tony attacked it. I think it was Laporte who was trying to challenge him, but he attacked the ball superbly. Edison was a little bit, in no man's land. He wasn't on his line. He wasn't on the 6-yard box, and it just looped over him and into the net and thoroughly deserved 1-0 lead for Brentford. 27 minutes. Bernardo feeds off an error, then there's a shout for a handball, probably just outside. Hard to tell with the angles we saw, but a corner is all we got for that. It should have been a free kick, shouldn't it? Surely, if it was handball, so I don't know. I think we got a corner anyway. I was all confused, but again, we were just getting a little bit desperate there, shouting for a penalty. 41 minutes, KDB feeds Foden, but his shot is saved. 46 minutes, finally, yes, it's 1-1. It's not as though the goalkeeper's been sort of pulling out save after save. He didn't even have that much to do today, I don't think. But Foden beats the keeper with a great blast from the angle. It's from a KDB corner. Kanji, I don't know what his header was. It was sort of he headed it, but it sort of just ended up looping over to Foden. So obviously Foden, fantastic blast into the corner. And at 1-1 at half time, you think we can go on and win this now. Perhaps a little tweak tactically, perhaps a substitution or two, Pep, might have made a difference, but 1-1. And it seemed to me Brentford were a little bit more reserved coming out for that second half as well. So I was optimistic. All we had to do was go up a gear. Unfortunately, it kept slipping the gear, didn't it? 57 minutes of Cancelo's shot was deflected wide. 66 minutes, as I say, City were dominating it. Gundogan plays a great 1-2 with KDB, but he just sends it. You think how Gundogan usually shoots. He usually places them, doesn't he? Usually puts the side foot or places them. I mean, he just shot it. It was awful, an awful finish from Gundogan. He wasn't that far out. Shocking from Gundogan after a great little move. 67 minutes. Edison was finally brought into action again as Brentford woke up a little bit as City sort of went on the attack. We were bound to leave a few gaps at the back as well. Edison was down to comfortably save and gather another Tony effort. He was all over up, so he had to be the man of the match, I think, today. Tony by a long way for both teams. 71 minutes, Brentford still a threat. Another Tony effort is cleared by Laporte. Yeah, he sort of sliced it. Could have easily gone in the net. I don't think he knew too much about it, but obviously it beat Edison. And it was going across. There was a player behind him, one of their players behind Laporte, and he just sort of slices it past under pressure. So great save from Laporte. So easily could have gone in the net. 73 minutes, the keeper deals easily with a Rodri effort. Yeah, he was comfortable to his left. Likewise, on 83 minutes, Raya deals also with the KDB strike again, which was... Again, wasn't blasted, was tried to be placed, but not hard enough or far enough away from the keeper. 87 minutes, we got a substitution, 87 minutes, what's the point? I have no idea what is the point. All right, we had 10 minutes injury time, but 87 minutes, Pep, I don't know. We just don't know. No one knows. Alvarez for Cancelo, 91 minutes. Yeah, Tony's found down that channel again, but Edison's again saves with his feet from the angle. So, I mean, all the clear-cut chances, even though we had, we'll go on the stats in a minute, we had a plethora of them, fell for Brentford. 98 minutes, of course, a sucker punch. We've seen it before. We see it during COVID where we were drawing games and then we were that desperate to try and get a goal. We just left ourselves wide open at the back and got beat in the last minute or two of games. And it's happened again with this one, not for the first time. Of course, Tony. Although we by the time the ball had come across, we did have men in the box, but they just weren't in the right place, unfortunately, because it was a bit of a breakaway. And Tony had the easy task of just hit the target, side-footing it home, and it was game over. Although Brentford nearly added insult to injury in the 100th minute with a Tony hat-trick, but it was a 3-on-1 thing. KDB was the only guy back. There's 3-on-1 at one stage. He managed to delay it. Edison sort of did well to try and block it, and then KDB ended up saving it about 3 or 4 yards out. So we got away without further humiliation. So 2-1 to Brentford, and yeah, I would let's have a look at these stats. 29 shots from City, 29, and just one goal, and 29 shots, and you couldn't say the goalkeeper had any brilliant saves or excellent saves. He did one or two okay ones, because only 6 of those 29 were on target. All right, there might have been deflections and blocks and stuff. That's pathetic, absolutely pathetic. And Brentford stats: 10 shots, 8 on target. Brilliant. I can't ask for more than that. Possession, 75% for City. Passes, 619 for City, just 214 for Brentford. The pass accuracy, City's 85%. That's one of our lowest. We don't, we hit the high 80s, early 90s, 85%. Not good. And I wouldn't say Brentford's press was fantastic. That's not great. And look at their accuracy. 57% Brentford pass. 57%. I don't think I've seen as low as that with the team we've played. 9 fouls by us, 7 by them. 2 yellow cards each. 2 offsides each. 10 corners for us. Well, apart from obviously the one Akanji just flukily headed to Foden to score. Again, we look pretty useless on it. 2 for them. XG philosophy, well, this sums it up, really. We got beat on XG philosophy again, probably about the third or fourth time this season. Man City 1.57 for our 1 goal, and Brentford 1.9 for their 2 goals. So if we're going to get beat on XG philosophy, there's a chance we're going to get beat, and we certainly did. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you thought. Let me know your thoughts of this game. A little summing up. I will sum up a brief little bullet points I wrote down here. It was a bad day at the office. It certainly was. I'm not going to deny that. A lot of people are saying it's because they're thinking about the internationals. It might be an element of that. I thought generally most of them did try. They just weren't very good on the day, unfortunately. With certain players, please check out my player ratings show. There's certain players got 4s today. I don't usually give many 4s out, 4s and 5s, but they certainly did today. I just don't think as a unit we were good enough, and it was pretty shocking for most of the game. And all credit to Brentford. They did, as I said, I think at the start of this, they showed no fear. And they got the reward. And all right, you might say other teams might do that and get absolutely tated. But don't forget, this team's in the bottom half of the table. Brentford. They're not fantastic, but they're organised and they're quick on the break, which I say we're never that great against, do we? Let's face it, as a team. You've got a player up front called Tony who's got a point to make after not being included in the England squad. And they went for it. They didn't have a fear. They didn't care. They started the game superbly. They took it to City. And yes, all right, we had 29 shots, but I say we didn't really worry the keeper too much with those 29 shots. And they, with 10 shots, got 8 on target. So they certainly worried our keeper with them. So they got the reward. If other teams follow suit, yeah, some will get hammered, but they're going to get hammered anyway. So, we're going to have a difficult second half of the season. A few managers put this on the video recorders and watch it over the World Cup break. They'll be finding ways of giving us a hard time. We're going to have to be a big improvement from City the second or the last second 2/3 of the season. And if you look at the match schedule we've just had, we've had 14 games now, and we've got 8 at home, we've had 6 away, and our away form's not been great anyway. And we've had 8 at home, won 7 and drawn 1 now. It would have been nice to win 8. So I think of the so-called top 6 of the better teams, I think we had the easiest schedule up to the World Cup. I think that was said before the season started. So I wanted to go into the World Cup at least top. All right, we're second. There's just one team better than us. So it doesn't look that bad on paper, does it? But I think it does. I think we should have done better. But obviously we've got 24 games to go. So we will have to improve. And it's a long time to go. And we'll have to see what happens with the World Cup and how the players come back. And hopefully no really bad injuries. But we're going to have to work really hard, I think, from end of December onwards for it to get this three-peat, if you like, to win 3 on the trot. And when we get back, if you think about the catching up on away games, because we played more home games, we've got Leeds away, all right. You might say, should be okay. Yeah. No settled, Leeds is a tough place. We've got United away. Again, we've been doing very well there. We've got Chelsea away, which we should be able to do okay at, but they should have beat us. They probably could have done better against us in the Carabao Cup the other day, and I was quite impressed with Chelsea. And we got Spurs away. So our next 4 away games if we win all 4 of them, yeah, I'll be cock a hoop. But it's got to be tough. It's got to be a tough welcome back, isn't it? So we will have to step up. And today was a very disappointing. Some people are saying, well, how do these people? How would they have coped with the relegations? Blah blah blah. I was there for the relegations. I was just as miserable then as I am now when we're good and we get beaten a game. I still feel miserable. I'm still down. Not gonna say sack Pep, sack all the players. Although I might feel like saying it just because I'm angry. It's that old picture of the guy holding an umbrella over the City badge, isn't it? I still love you, but you're my team, and that's how it is, and that's how it should be. That's fair enough. I'm just I say I've got through this. I'm a bit depressed coming on here doing this, but it's made me feel a little bit better. Hope you feel a little bit better now after listening to my machinations. Do check the player ratings show out. That's out there, and let me know your player ratings as well if you can get a chance to watch that. And of course, while the World Cup's on, there'll still be loads of City stuff. I'll be having my player of the season so far, so there'll be a little thing with that, and I'm doing a little joint thing with Bolt from the Blue as well, where we'll talk about the players and stuff like that. So keep your eyes out for that. And lots of history stuff. I might do the odd quiz as well, so there'll be plenty while the World Cup's on for City. So the Citizen channel will be here to hopefully keep you entertained. Thanks for watching, guys. Please leave us your comments about the game. It'd be great to hear from you. Until we meet again, which is hopefully very soon. Watch my stuff over the next few weeks. Please, until we meet again, stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. I still love you. Bye for now.